G'day gamers and gentle gamers, yucky. As you know, recently I held a straw poll on my channel of which Sonic game to cover next, and with an overwhelming 1 vote, Sonic Heroes was the victor. So without further ado, here is your reward for not unsubscribing.
LeBron James.
I know a lot of you really aren't gonna like this statement, and I'm sorry if you feel hurt by this, but Sonic Heroes is not a good game. It's far from a good game.
What? Why is your opinion not the same as everyone else's?
When your game looks like it's been assembled and stuck together with glue and duct tape, that's not a good sign. Sonic Heroes is one of those real unfortunate examples where it looks like everyone except the programmers gave a fuck. Come down and play Sonic Heroes. I've got fucking sponge physics, real fucked up collision, rail grinding mechanics that never feel explained, and weirdly enthusiastic voice lines. I have a lot of nostalgic bias for Heroes, I'm not gonna lie, and to be honest, I really do like Heroes, but at some point in my life, I had to go, hey, this isn't good. The art for this game is so good. They nailed the aesthetic spot on. The music is easily my favorite soundtrack in the entirety of the Sonic franchise. And man, I have nothing else good to say about this game. I have tried playing Heroes casually so many fucking times, it's unbelievable, but I fucking can't. I cannot sit down and play this game without a reason to play this game. Like the weird level design that looks like a corridor on crack, the weird abilities that make no fucking sense. What's a rocket excel? Fuck that, give me the spin dash. The fucking physics feel like Sonic and friends had been ice skating on marmalade before they went running. What the fuck? How do you get physics this bad? The game's main mechanic is the team mechanic. Basically, you press a button and you can switch to a different character in your team. For example, if you're in Team Sonic, you can switch to Tails or Knuckles, and they both have different abilities and stuff, and honestly, it's not that great. I really do not like how the team mechanic was handled in this game. It just feels sloppy. Like, I don't have the drive to switch to Tails or Knuckles because they're not as fun as Sonic. Sonic is the only fun character. And even then, when the character's cooperating with you, that is, because 90% of the time, those fucking butter skates get in the way! I know I'm being kind of an echo chamber, sort of just like reiterating what every other YouTuber is saying about this game, but hear me out here. If a lot of people are saying the same thing, what does that say about the game? And don't tell me it's some sort of like mass hysteria bullshit, because I've been playing this game since about 2008, and I can tell you, even then, I knew this game controlled like shit. What really bugs me, especially recently about the Sonic fanbase, is now, even if the game is bad, there's still some redeeming qualities that can disregard all this criticism, and somehow, it's an underrated gem. You know the games I'm talking about. You probably like them. An opinion on a video game is valid whether you justify it or not. It's personal and it's subjective. You shouldn't feel the need to write an essay for you to feel that your opinion about a game is valid. That being said, when we're screaming different things at SEGA, it's pretty easy to understand why we're getting all these identity-confused products from SEGA, like Forces and Lost World. But that is a discussion for an entirely different video, so back to shit game that I like. You've got 4 different, in quotations, stories to play, because they all follow the same structure and same events. You got Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, and Team Chaotix. Now, Team Chaotix is especially interesting because this is their first debut as modern characters. You unlock the last campaign of the game by completing all 4 stories of the teams. The final campaign has all 4 teams fighting against the rogue overlord, Rob Schneider. Schneider has copied all of the biodata of each character and has taken to the skies, threatening to release Grown Ups 3. Sonic Heroes is a game that is far less story-centric than I think any other game before it. The lack of story is probably a result of the fucking clusterfuck that is Sonic Adventure 1 and 2's story. I really like this structure a lot. I feel like there's less story to worry about and more action to get into. You really don't need to give me a real deep and elaborate reason for why Team Sonic is fighting Team Rose. I don't care, just let me fight them. I've really never liked it when Sonic has had games that put the story on the front line of the game. It feels like they're trying way too hard to make something that doesn't work. Anyway, because this review follows absolutely no structure and I'm incompetent at writing scripts, let's go through the stages one by one. Seaside Hill is a pretty good introduction to the main mechanics of the game that I hate using. Like, yeah, Watch Point Gibraltar in Overwatch is a good map, but Overwatch isn't a good game, so I'm not gonna have fun playing it. Ocean Palace is even worse in this regard. It tries to shove the team mechanics down your throat, making you switch on the fly, it seems, every 5 seconds. It's unbelievable. Grand Metropolis is alright. It tries to do a lot of things with the Blue Tornado, and it introduces new enemies with different ways of attacking them. whatever.
Power plant.
Throws like massive rooms of enemies at you that you need to beat before continuing, although I'll be honest, it shoves the whole team mechanic down your throat a little less than say Seaside Hill and Ocean Palace do. God, I fucking hate Casino Park so much. Bingo Highway is actually considerably more fun than Casino Park, simply because the bad pinball physics aren't as much of a problem if you're going down a table instead of trying to traverse up a fucking table. And the bingo mechanics, like the whole like slot machine thing. There's no slot machine. What the fuck am I talking about? Rail Canyon is an incredible stage. Extremely fun, extremely fast. Not a lot of people know this, but if you hold down the grind button, you go considerably more faster than just tapping it. Bullet Station is an incredibly smooth and cinematic experience. I fucking love it. I don't know if cinematic was the right word there. That seems really soy. Frog Forest is admittedly really fun. The only issue I have with it is the fact that the bottomless pits are really cheap and frequent, and the game tries to like guilt you into playing the fly type characters because that's the safest way to play, and that's not fun. That's just really not fun. Lost Jungle is an unbelievably hollow experience. Holy shit. Hang Castle is alright. It gets pretty boring actually towards the end, but for the most part it's pretty good. Mystic Mansion is actually pretty fun. I think objectively it's pretty bad, but honestly I really enjoy it because it captures the atmosphere really well. It's fun, it's flowful, etc. I just really like it. A lot of people say Egg Fleet is the highlight of the game, and I can completely understand why. Man, this stage is great. Really tight stage. Might even be objectively the best in the game. Final Fortress is probably aesthetically my favorite stage in the game, but gameplay-wise, probably the worst. That's all the stages in the game. Now, imagine having to go through all of those stages 4 times. 5 times if you consider the secret Rob Schneider team you can unlock. Now, you'll notice I had a lot more good things to say about the stages than bad things, and there was only a good few stages that really pissed me off. So apart from the bad physics and the weird shitty team mechanics that the game really tries to shove down your throat, how could I really dislike this game? Well, that's an easy question. The answer is health bars. You might even like them. I know a lot of people really don't mind them, but I'm gonna tell you why health bars are one of the worst Sonic game design choices ever made. In a franchise where enemies are used as a means to further the level design and experience the player is having, like in the classics where Sonic would bounce off of the enemies to gain more speed, or in the boost games where Sonic would barge into enemies to get more boost energy, why is it that in Sonic Heroes, the enemies serve no purpose, no benefit, they are just used as roadblocks? I'll tell you why. Because the enemies have been tainted with the team mechanic that I fucking despise. Adventure had this problem, but at least they would go down in 1 hit. Some enemies will take 30 hits to beat. And I don't care if the game gives me a character to deal with these enemies slightly quicker. This is an anti-Sonic design choice. The game attempts to make this experience a little more bearable with the power cores, and essentially what they do is the more you collect, the more quickly you'll take down enemies, the more easier your time will be with each character. But why should a game have to do that for me to enjoy the game to begin with? But it doesn't end there. You see, certain enemies require certain attacks to be beaten. Those egg hammers with the fucking helmets suck so much. Oh, I hate them. Again, they're just used as roadblocks for the player. There's no real reason for them to be there. And the worst part is, they gate your progression sometimes. Well, most of the time you'll find. So that was my rant about enemy health bars in a Sonic game. It really does not get more soy than that. There are 2 types of boss battles in the game. There's a team battle, which is... the only way I can describe it is a foot race, except the opponent is wearing Tims. And there are the running Eggman boss fights. I'm gonna go on record here saying that these boss fights might actually be the best boss fights in the entire franchise. They're tense, fun, challenging, and above all, they're really atmospheric. You're lying to yourself if you think that Egg Emperor doesn't hit differently. The final Metal Sonic boss fight is pretty good. I think I have a few qualms with it regarding the usefulness of attacks and stuff, considering that you can't actually damage Metal Sonic. It's just you're pressing buttons frantically to build up the Team Blast meter. Also, that brings us to the Team Blast meter. All 4 teams can build up something called a Team Blast. You build this meter up by doing attacks and beating enemies and collecting rings and stuff. The typical stuff you'd expect to build up a meter in a Sonic game. When the bar is full, you press a button and you go pachoo all over the place. For each team, it varies. So, like, for example, Team Sonic gets the light attack from Sonic Adventure. Team Dark gets Chaos Control, which can slow down time. Team Rose gets Invincibility and a shield power-up, and they do some weird... really uncomfortable dance. and then Team Chaotix just scream at the microphone, and they kill enemies. The only band that can cause that kind of damage is Weezer. But anyway, this ability fundamentally nukes the screen, and most of the enemies that are left over turn into power cores. This ability's like cool and all, but sometimes the animation plays a little too long and it gets to a point where it overstays its welcome. Like, look at Team Chaotix's. Jesus Christ, that goes for like 10 seconds. It is an alternative to not switching to the power character, which I enjoy, but then it presents a new problem, and that it's not playing the game for about 20 seconds of your life. I'm over-exaggerating the time a Team Blast takes, but you get my point. Heroes has an extremely good battle mode. In fact, I'd say that this mode is actually better than SA2's two-player mode. I've got no multiplayer footage simply because I have no one in this area that can make fun of Sonic as well as I can. It's a talent, I know. And there's no fucking way I'm doing parsec and having like a 5-second input delay just because someone lives on the other side of the world. I think deep down, I'm always and forever gonna have a real sentimental love for— oh, by the way, it's sad story time. Brace yourself. Because I remember many times sitting in the chair in the hospital waiting for my chemotherapy to come while playing Sonic Heroes to take my mind off of it. Jesus Christ, I'm talking so fucking fast in this video. Take a breather, son! Breathe! I remember it making my life that little bit easier. And then even then, when I was really, really young, playing the PS2 Sonic Heroes on my little shitty cube TV while my sister harassed me, I remember playing Heroes for so long as a kid and could never figure out how to unlock the final story. And as soon as I got that last Chaos Emerald, went back to the title screen, and then flipped slightly over to the right and saw that last story, I lost my fucking shit. I think we like to shun the idea that bad games can leave really good and heartwarming memories for people. A game does not have to be good for you to love it, for you to enjoy it, for you to have absolute nostalgia for it. It's your personal experience, and you should hold on to that. We as a fan base are never, ever, ever going to be united. We're never going to all get along. We're never going to agree on the same things. But one thing that we can agree on and unite for is the fact that Sonic has left a mark on our childhood. And we wouldn't be the same without that mark. So what the game that you like is shunned by people? So what that people make fun of you for liking a specific game? This bad game that people make fun of you for liking could be the game that has gotten you through some of the hardest times of your life, or sailed you straight through into the good times. I guess what I'm trying to say is we all have that one game that we've always held onto, or that's helped us form ourselves, or that's helped us through some of the bad times of our life, and I think that game for me is Sonic Heroes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, check under your firewood for giant termites.